Hey everybody, it's Alex Miller at Capnion here. When you hear stories from out in the wild that sound like the AI hyperproductivity narrative, they often have odd wrinkles and occur in odd places. I heard a great story along these lines and I want to share it with you, not just so you can hear the story, but to hear my take that it's odd but in some ways typical. This is a true story a friend told me. I'll do my best to anonymize it. A friend of mine has a hobbyist interest in web development, works in another industry, not IT, heard about vibe coding, and took Claude Code for a test drive. Immediately in love, having so much fun. Vibe coded his own CRM, which is a pretty common thing you hear these days. Shortly after discovering Claude Code and falling in love with it, was scheduled to take a cruise with his girlfriend. Lots of opportunities to have fun on the cruise, but wants to keep playing with Claude Code on his phone. Girlfriend wants to go dancing. My friend does not want to get in trouble for vibe coding on the dance floor, so he has to come up with some cover. Decides to start working on an ERP system to make the girlfriend's job easier. Girlfriend works at a mostly blue collar, very supply oriented business, has sales and administrative responsibilities. Boyfriend successfully builds an ERP system from the dance floor on the cruise that it sounds like maybe her employer is going to start using. This you might call is a large small business, big enough that it probably needs an ERP system, not big enough that anybody's trying to sell them one that hard or they have anybody whose pure mandate is to go shopping. So, thanks to Claude Code just being fun, finding the right hobbyists that wanted to level up, now this business has an ERP system poof out of nowhere. And conceivably, it can make a big difference. I know some of you out there will also immediately jump to potential horror stories about security and things like that, and that could happen too. I'd like to point out here, no software engineers were harmed in the making of this video. This is not replacing anybody's labor. This is really sort of comically inexpensive software engineering services being provided to a business that would otherwise not be getting them. A lot of conversation about AI is about what's going on at big corporations. Big corporations are the ones that have the money to buy tools. It seems like if the turbo productivity narrative is really happening, it's happening among people who weren't experts before, were kind of on the margin of having confidence with certain skills. It's about people getting access to software they would not otherwise have had. And in general, it's not occurring at big corporations where people were building these things before. It's occurring at small organizations, individual people, fascinatingly spontaneously a lot of the time.